It is a matter of time before we hear about Diablo 4's second expansion, and in this video, I'm going to talk to you about why I am 99% sure that Paladin is going to be the next class, and here's why. First off, practical reasons. Blizzard knows that we want a Paladin, and you could see that in this video.
Back as well.
Not like a Paladin or something? I've never heard that. Have you heard that people want a Paladin?
I'm unfamiliar with this feedback.
When Spiritborn was first released, a lot of the fanbase were excited about the class, but many were also wondering that the Holy Knight archetype is still not introduced into the game. But that gives more of a reason why Paladin makes sense for the next step. We now have two casters that are int-based classes, the Necromancer and the Sorcerer. We have two dexterity classes with the Spiritborn as well as the Rogue, but only one strength class, being the Barbarian. So in terms of rounding out the roster, a Paladin would be a nice fit. And besides this, you guys know me, I love the lore, and there is a lot to it that points towards a Paladin's involvement, especially when it comes to dealing with Mephisto. Now, just a note here, going forward, I will be providing major spoilers for the Vessel of Hatred campaign, so if you have not gotten there yet, I recommend skipping ahead. So first off, from a lore perspective, the Paladins are very closely tied with Mephisto, and in fact, the Diablo 2 Paladin, Karthus, can be found within Diablo 4. See, after the events of Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction, Karthus, the canonical Diablo 2 Paladin, took the corpse of Mephisto's vessel, who was, by the way, the Khagan at the time, which is essentially the Pope of the Zakarum faith, and buried it in Hawazar within the Black Tomb, which we went to in the Infernal Hordes of Season 5. And what did we notice about that season? Within the Black Tomb, Mephisto's vessel's corpse was split up into multiple parts, and each part had scripture from the Paladins who buried them there. After they buried Mephisto's vessel, Karthus and a group of his fellow Paladins locked themselves within the Black Tomb as well, holding eternal vigil over Sacred Core's corpse, and that's because Mephisto's seeping hatred was just oozing out of it, and they didn't want anything to come in or for that hatred to seep out. In the process though, Karthus and his fellow Paladins become corrupt due to all this hatred, and their spirits become vengeful and trapped there as well. And there's a side quest in Diablo 4 that allows you to release them from their agony, including Karthus himself. So establishing that the Paladins are very involved with the Zakarum faith and Mephisto's corruption of it, one point is constantly brought up, and is that, wait, isn't the Zakarum dead? After all, the only group of Zakarum that we do meet were the Crusaders in Hawazar, and they were broken and disheveled compared to what we saw in Diablo 3. Not to mention, the primary goal of the Crusaders from Diablo 3 was to find Akarat's tomb, and since that mission is over, I don't see the Crusaders that we would get in a new class. Now, although the Cathedral of Light took over as the primary faith in Estuar, in the lore book, the Book of Prava, there is a section about the Zakarum, and it states that they are alive and thriving over in the Western continent. So if we do venture west, or if the Zakarum faith sends agents to Estuar to investigate Mephisto Akarats, it puts a lot of weight that Paladins will get involved from a lore perspective in the next expansion, dealing with the false prophet Akarat. Oh, and don't just take my word for it. In the Dawn of Hatred comic, in the concept art, it speaks to a character named Phyrexia, who is part of Akarat's flock, although she isn't what she appears. See, she was actually an agent hired by the Zakarum to pose as a follower of Akarat, and in the right moment, kidnap him so they can interrogate him and prove that he is a false prophet. So the wheels are already turning that the Zakarum will be involved in dealing with this false prophet. And with the lore in Diablo 4 showing that the Paladins were the ones who buried Mephisto as duty to their faith, it makes sense that the Zakarum are not going to be happy that their prophet and founding father, Akarat, is being paraded around by Mephisto. So what do you guys think? Do you believe the Paladin is or should be the next class coming? And if not, what would you hope to see? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like videos like this, be sure to like, subscribe, and tune into my stream to help support the channel. Thank you for watching. Until next time.